Welcome to Berardi Coke from the Ought to Know Better podcast. I see there's a few here waiting for us already, which is nice. Joined by Carl, it's myself, Jay, and I'm just going to run us a little intro.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
How we doing?
Doing all right, Jay. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad, mate. You know, I normally feel a lot more depressed than this after a Leeds game, but
recently,
feel okay. Yeah, you know, something's changed. Can't put my finger on it.
I could, but we've talked it today. So,
well, I'm sure we'll go over it again. We have got a guest who's going to join us, though, so I'm going to bring him in if he's okay. I think we might be getting joined by the top of his head. No, he's moved his camera. It's all right.
Got him
it's early doors for him, so I'm going to bring him in straight away, and then we'll, if he has to leave us, we'll get into it. But Now then,
hello, mate. How are you going?
Yeah, probably a bit better than you are.
Oh, mate, I'm tired.
Yeah.
You look it, to be fair, mate. I mean that in the nicest possible way.
Thanks very much. Love you too.
So
how good was that?
Yeah, I mean, amazing. Just for everyone who's watching and listening, what time is it there?
9 minutes past 6 in the morning, but I haven't slept. So
you're sat in your car.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep, so I thought I'll get to the client's house early and I'll grab a coffee and something to eat and just sit here and have a cigarette and watch you guys. So
Fair
hello.
enough.
How you going?
All right.
Your mate's happy to see you.
There you go.
Oh, hey, mate. How you going, Luke? I don't know why I'm shouting.
It's all right, mate. Everybody shouts on this podcast. As we've been told by an enthusiastic reviewer, we were more like guys in a pub, so don't worry about that.
But that's what you want, mate. That's what you want. You want guys in a pub on a podcast, you know? That's where the crack comes from.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we're aiming for. We're not professionals. We don't try to be. We just come and have a laugh and say what we think, although it's not been much to laugh about lately. But what did you reckon to that last night? Or yesterday morning, or whatever it was for you?
7 o'clock yesterday morning, mate. Me and my boy watched it. My boy came over. We both put the Leeds shirts on and we sat down and we watched it and we couldn't fucking believe it after a minute. Like, fucking hell yes. Little Willie, good on you. That's what you want. Yeah. That's what you want.
We could have asked for a better start.
No, mate, it was cracking. It was cracking. So, what I took from the game, mate, we didn't play ridiculously different to how we've been playing, in my opinion. What we did was we just spread out a little bit more. That was it. That's all we did. And that gives the opposition something to think about.
We didn't need to change a great deal of what we did we? It's not the fact that what we were doing was terrible. Like, there's been a lot of games recently where we could or should have won, but there was just something missing. And it's those times that we get caught because everybody is compact. They're all in the same place. And that's what's left us wide open time and again. Manager can't do a great deal about strikers not finishing. You know, if the tactics are getting us opportunities, then from that side of it, the manager's done their bit. But if the tactics are leaving us with massive gaping holes on various parts of the pitch that get exploited, and that's not being addressed, then in that case, the manager's not doing his bit. So half of it was all right. Half of it just needed tweaking.
Yeah. He completely lost it in the Notts Forest game, mate, when Cooper changed it and nullified what we were doing. He had 45 minutes. He didn't do anything. Jesse Marsh's tactics were like headbutting a boulder until the boulder broke. It was just constantly doing the same thing and hoping for a different result, which was insane.
Absolutely.
And now we've spread out a little bit more. We've got more about us. We can spread their team around instead of being so compact. Them clustering around the ball and sucking 4 or 5 players in leaving wide areas exposed, which the opposition team knew exactly what they were doing. And then the first ball they got, they were spreading it wide. And then they're in space and they're around the back of us. If we spread out a little bit, we stopped that. And that's what we did yesterday.
Yeah. Like you were saying there, man, there never seemed to be any differentiation between anything we did. It was all just get the ball out, wide and the kind of halfway line, and then as soon as we get it there, bring it inside. But last night, it was like we knew how to play with width when the time was right to play with width. But whereas we were kind of strangled under Jesse, where he wouldn't particularly allow us, by the looks of it, to play with too much width unless the players took it upon themselves to do it for,
Yeah.
So you mentioned that Forest game, and I now knowing what we know now, I wonder if Jesse knew the writing was on the wall at that point and he'd given up, because he looked like a beaten man in that second half.
He's looked like a beaten man for ages, mate. You can remember that video doing the rounds on Twitter where he's at the dugout and he's saying the players are scared.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
This is after 10 months. This is after 10 months of him being a manager. If he hasn't got the players to play how he wants to play, and the players aren't committing fully to his tactics, the tactics are fucking shit. And the players don't want to commit to it because they've spent, 15, 20 years being trained as a professional footballer. And everything taught to them is you don't fucking do what Jesse Marsh is telling you to do. So at the back of their mind, that's why they're holding back. And if you're not playing for your manager after 10 months, mate, then you fucking go. You don't have the team.
The guy's clearly got no authority if his ideas are not getting in after 10 months, has he?
No.
But the thing is, as well, it's not down to the players' lack of intelligence to understand the tactics. It's more understanding the tactics so well that they're just like, this isn't going to work. Like, because we did see it. Like, I won't go on. We'll talk about the game. Like, but in a press conference after Arsenal, he came out and he said he was asked why you started playing wide, and he was like, "Oh well, the players took it upon themselves." And I'm like, that says it all for me. It was at that point. You
probably shouldn't say that, should you?
Yeah, like it was at that point. Then I was just like, "That's it for me." Like it's nail in the coffin right there. Like, but
he undermined himself with that comment there, and didn't do anyone any favors.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. If the players are ignoring what you're telling them to do and doing what they think they should do, then mate, give up. Find a different job. Go serve fries for a living, because you're not going to cut it as a manager.
I do wonder, like, what players like Rodrigo, who've played in the Spain setup and things, must have thought of Marsh's tactics and the way he tried to get his ideas across. They must have just been incredulous, some of those players.
Yeah, and you can imagine. What am I trying to say? You can imagine the message coming from the dressing room, fucking changing room. The manager saying, "All positive. You've got to be positive. No negative comments." So the players are kind of restrained. They can't say a thing, So
that's it.
And last night proved it. We just needed to expand a little bit more, mate. We did that, and look what happened. 2-0 up against Scum at Old Trafford.
Absolutely.
It was sweet, mate. We knew they were going to come back. It was obvious they were going to come back.
Yeah,
but we got a draw, mate. We got a draw we weren't expecting.
I'm very pissed off a lot of those Everton fans that thought they'd done something big and that we wouldn't be able to.
Well, like the other thing is as well, I'm liking the look of Verber and Cock at the back there. That's, granted, Cock was beaten in the air for Rashford's header, but when you look back at the header, it's a very good header. Like you look at the likes of Rodrigo's header against Chelsea for the free kick. That very, very good header, deft touch kind of flick. That's all Rashford had to do. Like, there was no power in it. He just had to change the direction. But it was a very good header. Like, but you couldn't take that.
No.
For the rest of the game was solid. Like,
I got to agree with Mark Jones. I think Verber is a centre back now, and we need another left back. There's no way you can move him. He's too valuable. He's proven that already. And
I think having two German-speaking internationals set next to each other at the back. I'm not saying like they will be all the time communicating in German, but there won't be any kind of lost in translation type scenarios where he might have been saying, "Oh, come back in here" or whatever. At least if he says it to him, it's going to be correct. No.
You've been playing FIFA too much, Carl, mate. You're looking for the green lines between everybody.
I actually don't play FIFA at all. Like, that's the thing. I genuinely don't play it at all. But I think, those kind of things, they do matter, especially in games like that where you've got a coherence between the players that are set next to each other. Like, again, McKinney and Adams. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Right?
They were great.
It's because they know each
How
other.
good's that?
They grew up in the same kind of system, but they like the fact that they get on so well. Again, going back to Verber and Cock, it could be looked at as that kind of gelling together in certain areas that we weren't given the option for before.
It's priceless having an understanding between players from the off. Like you can't buy that. Well, I guess you can if you buy the right players, but you know what I mean.
But they've been playing together all their lives, eh? They've been playing international. Yeah, and I think this is the first time they're playing club together. Is that right?
At professional level, I think it is. Yeah. But if they're going to come out and play like that in the first game together, then the only way is up from there, and that's going to be a good thing for us. We've got some fight in the midfield now, and the team had some fight in it last night. Like I've not seen for 6 to 12 months.
Do you know what? Sorry, go on there, man.
No, you first, mate. You started for Cal. Go ahead.
I thought Aronson was quite good yesterday. Considering the stick he's been getting. Now I thought the ref was an absolute shambles. Like those tackles that he was giving bookings to us for, that he wasn't even blown up for them, that kind of way. But I did think Aronson seemed like he was a little bit more out of his shell. I think having the protection of Jesse kind of let him maybe his quality slip a bit. And now that he's kind of like, he doesn't have that security blanket of Jesse being there and he's going to start and this and that, maybe he's kind of like, well, I have to do it now. Like,
There's nowhere to hide for him, is there? He's got to stand up on his own 2 feet now.
No. Yeah, I know what you're saying. But the tactics will come into it as well. I mean, he likes to have a run, doesn't he? A run and a dribble at people. If you've got 5 players in the space of 3 meters, how are you going to do that? There's too many legs there. But, I've got all the time in the world for Aronson. I think he's going to be great. He's still fucking young. He's still a young kid.
Yeah.
It's a potential.
21, like. So, and Adam, he's only 21 and Adams is only 23. Like, so you look at them and they're like, if we can keep them for a while and kind of build a good midfield in there, you can see the potential. Like, I don't think Ruder is a striker. I think he looked lost up front. I think he's more of like an outside forward, kind of like the way Bielsa used Rodrigo in the start when we first got promoted. But I think Ruder would be more deadly in that sense.
Well, he hasn't played since November, if I heard right. So that's quite a while for a professional footballer not to play. And then he's been dropped into a scum game in the Premiership, so the speed's going to be a lot quicker than anything he's used to because they don't play that fast in French football.
No, that's certainly.
And he hasn't played. And he's a hefty guy. He's a big guy. You could see him trying to press yesterday, and it was like a half-hearted press. He was just lumbering towards a Manchester fucking United player. He wasn't. There was no 100% effort there. But give him time, mate. Give him a few weeks to get up to speed. And,
it's not quite there. Not quite there tactically, but there's definitely ability in there. You can see that.
Oh, I'm not having a go at the lad at all. Like you said, he was dropped into Man U and bleeding Leeds at Old Trafford, So, but it was just something that I noticed,
Yeah, just as coming from Paul saying, brilliant Leeds supporters were singing songs for American lads. That was first class. I think that puts to bed the idiots on Twitter that have been accusing us all of being racist to hate Americans.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. What a knobhead that guy
Jesus
was.
Christ.
Oh, man.
Did you see the guy who was asking about returning his shirts?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one, mate. He's saying that Leeds are racist to Americans. I'm like, fuck off, man.
Yeah, everybody loves Tyler Adams.
It's mad. He's saying that we're racist towards Americans, but sure, they don't have any employment laws really in America. Like, so he'd have got shafted over there as well for that kind of crap.
Yeah, and they're amazed that we've sacked a manager who's doing shit because they don't have it over there. If you do shit as a manager in America, you don't get relegated. You just get another season.
Yeah, the consequences.
So they don't bother sacking the coach till the end of the season, do they? No. Because there's no danger to keeping them. It's just, we've had a shit season. We'll go again next year.
They're not going to lose. What would it work out at? They're not going to lose $130 million by having a shit season. If we have a shit season, that's what we're going to lose.
Exactly.
So we've got to be ruthless.
Stakes are higher,
and they don't grasp it. They don't have relegation, mate. So same in Australia. Australia don't have relegation either, and they're missing the trick with that.
In the A-League,
they just have the A-League. Yeah, they have the A-League. You get a wooden spoon. If you finish last, you get a wooden spoon and go again next year. Straight up.
Oh, a participation medal, is it? Yeah.
Hey?
A participation medal.
Yeah, participation. That's it.
It's a thanks for coming, lads.
That's it. Try again next year.
Make it up. So appreciate it.
They're missing something. They're missing the passion, mate. They're missing the emotion. We've got leagues and leagues and leagues, and you get promoted and relegated, and you're fighting for your team, and you're looking at the transfers because you want your team to do better. They don't have it in Oz. They don't have it in America. So they're not able to grasp it, and it's not their fault. They're just not used to it. We live and breathe it, we're used to this.
It's what we've grown up with. Like we've always known up and down like that. You know what I mean? And this isn't to say that all American fans are the same. Your man was a special breed the last day. Like he's a special breed. That guy, like
absolutely.
But yeah, you can see how they wouldn't, even in the baseball and the basketball. You never get relegated because you're just stuck in a certain section playing out your games, and then that's it. Like so, like. Until that lad realizes that he's very, very wrong about what he was saying and everything like that, then he'll never learn. So,
I got the impression he wasn't.
Wrong,
I got the impression he wasn't somebody who ever thinks that.
Absolutely.
So Karl went to the game last night, the lucky bastard. What was it like over there, mate? What was it like, the atmosphere, getting to the ground, and once you got in and a goal straight away? Must have gone absolutely fucking mental.
Yeah, well, I literally just got to a seat that was empty, and I just occupied it just before kickoff. And yeah, look, I think the crowd were in good voice before kickoff, and then when we scored so early, that theatre of Hallow Mitts, it just died, man. There was no singing from them at all. And like we had there was a comment put up that I think was it Gilly shared in the group chat, where it was a Man United fan just slating their home support and going, we got outsung by 3,000 supporters in our home. And we were like, we were loud last night. I don't know what it sounded like on the TV.
Hey, we outsing everybody.
Yeah,
it was good. I was sitting with my boy, mate, in the room watching it, and all he could hear were the Leeds fans.
Yeah,
and I was saying, there you go, mate. You've got 80,000 in the stadium, and you've got maximum 5,000 Leeds fans, and all you can hear are Leeds fans.
Yeah. I reckon all next door could hear was me, to be fair. So I reckon all next door could hear was me, probably. So
yeah, we had to keep the volume down. It was early in the morning, but we couldn't help ourselves, mate. When Willie Nantle ran in the first minute, we just went nuts.
There's no being quiet when something like that happens. It's just like, and when you've watched what we've watched and come off the back of that Forest game, it's like a lot comes out of you. There's a lot of emotion.
Yeah, of course it is, mate. Yeah, football is emotion, mate. That's all it is. You know,
it is,
living
100%.
Passion.
Do you think that we'll look at the same tactics on Sunday? Because it really doesn't look like. Why do you post shit like that in there?
It's funny, man. Just for people listening, Bandy just said Scottish Audrey reports from the game.
I could fucking do that all day. Yeah. I've lost my train of thought there now.
Sorry,
I got what your question was, mate. I don't know. It's an awkward one because you don't normally play the team twice in a row. So it's going to be interesting. I reckon once Adams and McKennie have seen the video of fucking Martinez on Bamford, I reckon that's going to be an interesting battle. I'm expecting a little bit of retribution from Adams. I'm hoping for it.
He's going to get a receipt on Sunday.
He's going to get a receipt.
Cheers, Mark. Thanks a lot, mate.
I have supportive listeners there.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm running on fumes, dude.
I liked his press conference afterwards as well. Scooby. I'm sticking with Scooby.
I think we all
are.
It was very kind of. He got asked a question about how they'd go about the second game, having played them already and played them again in quick succession, and he was just like, "Well, if I told you everything that I'd like to do in the second game, then they'd know what the hell I'm going to do in the second game because it's only on Sunday." And I was like, "Yeah, fair play to him." He the first time I've ever seen him speak. Yeah, fair play to him. He was on the ball. So
he held his own, didn't he? He held his own. To say he's only just come in, mate. He did all right.
You get the feeling he doesn't really want to be there talking to the TV, so he's just quite straight to the point and doesn't get drawn on stuff or go off on a tangent. Yeah. He just says what he needs to say and he goes.
Yeah,
I can respect that. They handled it well.
Absolutely.
The pressure. I mean, the problem may be the only game he's going to get in charge, or one of two, and it's against Scum in the Premiership. You know,
twice.
Like, fuck,
he's got his name on a pretty good list there. People that manage Leeds.
He has, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He'll go down in there. It'll be a pub trivia fucking question, mate.
It's not a bad thing to have in your CV where you can be like, I played Man United twice in 5 days, and you know, if we get a positive result again on Sunday, you'd be like, fucking hell. He'd be the next one poached from us for a job somewhere down in League One or something like that.
That's it. There's all this stuff about how we're struggling to appoint Iriola or whatever. You know, it's probably just Rads is like, just hang on till Sunday. I just want to see what happens, and we'll talk after. Because if he can save some money, he'll be right in, won't he?
Of course he will. Of course he will. Rads. He'll be saving money wherever he can.
Have you seen his tweets?
Yeah, like what the hell? What's he doing?
He's on one.
Somebody put a tweet up saying Rad Rosani and Orta are in Amsterdam trying to talk to Slot, and Rad Rosani the captains. So that's what's happening. Rad Rosani's in the back of the captain feeling a bit. Yeah, he's whitey in at the moment, and he's trying to tweet.
Yeah, that's exactly it, man.
All these drafts are getting posted by accident now because he doesn't know what he's doing.
I saw someone tweeted Elon Musk going, any chance you can ban Ray's account until we get a manager sorted? I was like, yeah.
I saw that.
Go for it.
Well, I'm feeling a hell of a lot more positive after that game, mate. We were in real danger of getting into a rut of being one of those teams that have gone down, who have been claimed to not be to be too good to go down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We puffed and puffed, but we never cracked that boulder with his head.
There's no such thing.
Hey?
There's no such thing as too good to
go. No, there isn't. There isn't, but I think that performance against Scum, that's going to get into the heads of a lot of players and say, we can fucking do this. We can go toe-to-toe with the fucking best. I mean, we fucked Liverpool up. Liverpool won how many on the trot? And then we beat them at fucking Anfield. And Scum fucking 113 at home on the bounce, and then we ruined that for them. So we've got it in us, mate. We just need consistency. The effort's there. You can always see the efforts there. We just need to little bit more width, be intelligent in what we do, have clarity. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm tired, mate. I'm trying to be Jesse Marsh here.
All right. You're making more sense.
No, that's okay, man.
Yeah, we're doing all right. We just, like I said, we just need to just change it up a little bit and just expand a little bit more on what we're doing. And we're sweet. We've got the attacking players. We've got Verba in defence. He's sorting defence out. Like you say, you've got Cock next to him. You've got Firpo on the left. Firpo looked good. Like, what the fuck? Did not expect that.
That foul he did when he just straight out grabbed him was amazing. Like, there was nothing else he could do, and it was 100% the right thing to do in that situation.
Me and my boy were fist pumping. We're like, fucking go on, Firpo. Fuck yeah. Like, take one for the team, mate. Fuck you.
He was just really like, fuck it. I ain't catching this guy. Fuck it. He just grabbed him. It was ace. Enjoyed
he really got up for it when he came on. Like, he was unreal.
Yeah, he was good. He was good. Good old Firpo. I've got faith in Firpo, mate. I think there's still a player there.
You know what? You might not be wrong, man. You might not be wrong. I think once he gets a bit of a head on him, like to put in more performances like that, he's got a goal against Accrington, and he's put in a performance like that against him, and it's like, surely that's the confidence you need to kind of push on a bit and show why we paid 13 odd million for him. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
So I thought he was very good last night. I thought Bamford, without doing much, did a lot. You know, he set up Nanto for his goal. He would have been in the right position for the cutback from Somerville if it hadn't hit Varane and gone in. So like he did quite a bit there. Now I think he's back now. Like He's been involved in 6 goal involvements since he came back, 3 goals and 3 assists. One of them obviously was against Accrington, but again, if he's looking for a bit of confidence and a bit of something to kick him on a bit, that's some good stats coming back in, especially if Rod's out now as well, you know?
Yeah.
I think, and I don't want to speak for Patrick Bamford, obviously, I don't know what's in his head, but I think he's just going to be happy with not being injured in the first 6 games, not feeling tweaks. That confidence is going to roll on.
Bit as well. He's been smashed a little bit and carried on, and he's not broke down. That's got to be a big psychological boost for him.
Yeah,
exactly right.
He got roughed up last night a couple of times, and he came away from it unscratched. And we haven't heard anything online today about any kind of knocks or anything like that. I suppose we'll hear on Friday with the press conference. But
you see players come back.
All right,
You see players come back, and when they've been out a long time like that, and they're scared to get tackled, they won't get stuck in, they pull out of stuff, and he hasn't played like that at all.
Well, how long was he out for? He was out for a long time, mate. I mean, there's a lot of psychology going on when you're a professional athlete. You don't know if you're gonna be injury free when you come back into it.
Yeah.
And when he was out injured for a long time, and he was trying to get back in, he was picking up niggly little injuries. And I'm just assuming, but I don't think these were injuries which were necessarily going to stop him from playing. I think it was just at the back of his mind. He's thinking to himself, maybe I've got something that I need to fix before I push on. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
There was always something there, just something little stopping him. And now he's had a run of games where he's been injury free. Who knows, mate? I really like Patrick, because he doesn't have to be scoring to have an effect on the game. He just has to be at the front of the target man, and he can hold it up. And he, like with Firpo, with a nifty little pass that he did the other week, and the layoff to Nonto, he doesn't have to score. He can be involved, and he's a good player, mate. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. He makes a difference for Leeds when he's playing up front. That's for sure.
He does. It gives you a focal point. It gives you a focal point that's not there with any of the other strikers we've got.
No, I think Ruter's going to be like that too. I think Ruter's going to be the same because he's a big guy.
I hope so.
Yeah, he's tall, isn't he? He's a lot bigger than he looks.
Deceptively so. Yeah. He's a was he 6 foot? But he's solid as well. He's not a skinny Aronson 6 foot. He's he's not in proportion.
He's not going to get blown away on a gust of wind like Aronson.
I just want to bring this in here. Mark brings a good point in, and I just want to kind of elaborate on it a bit. Love to see Rocket in with McKenny.
No worries, Matt.
Love to see Rocket in with McKenny and Tyler. Awesome. Yeah, I honestly think that would be a good kind of 3 to have. So I like for that to work for me. I put Tyler at the back in front of the back 4, and I'd have Rocket having kind of a free space just to roam across the middle of the park, and have McKenny doing the dog work. Because Rocket's got that pass where if we're going to start using the wings, we've seen he can spray it wide from central positions. So maybe
who do you take out though?
Well, you're probably only taking out Aronson there, or an attacking kind of midfielder. See, the thing is, we're sacrificing one of those players so that we can play in that kind of formation. So you're trying to accommodate a passing player for, someone who's going to be more direct with the ball at their feet. So you kind of have to, you're only taking out Aronson, or you're taking out someone who's going to play in the middle. And I think Aronson is more effective in the middle than he is out wide, because he can find them in pocket of space. So he'd be the one you'd take out, but you'd also have McKinney then breaking it up, and you'd have Rocker then to take it on and use the wings.
Yeah,
I think
if the idea is for us to play in a 3, then effectively you've got Adams, who is the ball winner. He's like the pit bull in defence. You've got Rocker, who can spray the passes out to the wings, and you've got McKenny, who can carry the ball from defence to attack. He's a link. You've got 3 players there in midfield, each one with a different strength, and it's a strength which is going to work well together. It's not like you've got 2 players who do the same thing. So if we would go with a midfield 3 of Rocker, Adams, and McKenny, that's a fucking good midfield. That's not too shabby.
What is that noise?
That's a cockatoo, mate.
It's a bird, mate.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, the wildlife in Oz is crazy. I'm telling you. There was a spider at my place the other day. It was like fucking that. It was fucking huge.
Yeah, that's what keeps
Mad
me away
old
from
spot,
Australia.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot. Thank you very much for having me on the pod again. But I'm going to shoot. I'm going to finish my coffee, finish my cig, and get to my client's
bother,
house.
man.
Good man.
Good
You look
stuff.
more
Have a
awake
good
now.
day,
Anyway, I
yeah?
hope we've helped.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me on again.
No worries,
Catch you
man.
later, Jay. See you later, Carl.
We'll
Take
see
it
you
easy,
again.
man. Have a good day.
Catch you. You
Bye.
too. See ya.
Cool.
Yeah, it's
He's always good
get 'em
value,
on,
isn't
man.
he?
Yeah. No, that like sure, Jesus, we're always saying to people if they fancy it, like let us know.
That fucking bird, though, we're killing me.
I
Went
tell you
right
what,
down
man,
my ear.
he's not wrong about the wildlife in Australia, man. I lived there for 2 years. Jesus Christ, some of it is
No.
lovely
place, I think, but it's not for me. Not with that kind of stuff. I don't want to get killed every time I put shoes on.
Well, that's why you check them before you put them on.
Oh, God.
Paul Brennan here. Patrick seems to be getting back to what he was at before he got injured. Hope he stays fit. There's no other striker does what Patrick does in the Premier League or the other 3 leagues below. He's unique. I think Patrick he's in the sense that he does that quite well. I don't think he's the only one that does it, but I think for the system that we play, it's quite good. The way he does hold it up.
I think for our system and at our club, there's probably not anybody else that could do a better job. But I think players like Kane and stuff and Haaland, it's hard to compare to a player like that. There are players out there that can do that, but at the level we're at and the players we're likely to get our hands on, I don't see us getting a better man than a fully fit Patrick Bamford. Not at the moment.
For us, he's key to everything that we do in an attacking sense, I think, because he's, like you said earlier, he is the focal point. He is the one who will make that run down the channel. And you don't get a lot of strikers that'll play down the channels either. You don't get them kind of taking it on board and trying to bring midfielders and wide players into play,
Yeah.
Like Haaland plays very, very centrally a lot of the time. And it's just a case of him being in the right place at the right time, which is obviously a very good trait to have as a striker. But it leaves the team then very one-dimensional as to how they can go and attack the goal. You know what I mean? And I think not utilising Patrick to the best of his abilities by leaving us narrow, it didn't really work for us. Even though he wasn't out for, even though he was out for a long period, but.
Mate, I'd written him off on this pod. I said he's never coming back. He'll never be what he was, but he's come back like nothing's ever happened.
Yeah. And it's good to see like that kind of performance from him now breeds confidence within a squad as well. McKinney came into the team last night, and that's a baptism of fire there. Now, not gonna lie, being straight in there and what's that say?
Steve said that's why I'm staying in Yorkshire. Spiders as big as puppies. No, thank you.
Yeah, not wrong. But yeah, performances throughout the team. There was a lot of good ones last night. And that just breeds confidence throughout the squad. If Patrick coming back properly last night, that was his kind of big right, I'm back now. This is it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That for midfielders to see that they've got a striker there that they know is going to absolutely be in the right place as much as he can. Fair enough, he scuffed a few shots against Forest or whatever the case may be, but the whole team were playing at they weren't. It wasn't a coherent performance at all.
No.
So you can understand.
You shouldn't be relying on one chance for one striker. You should have more than that in your locker.
Yeah, and he didn't have an awful lot after that against Forest. So you're kind of looking at that. But then last night, didn't have many opportunities. But at the same time, when you assist a goal and you're in the right place to potentially get on the end of a good cutback, that will build confidence over time, I think.
Absolutely. And, playing with Willie and stuff, playing with Willie, that's a new thing for Bamford, so to speak. I wish I'd not gone down this road. But but yeah, it should all, it should start to come together. It should start to click as people learn where other people are and how people play. And, we can only get better from here, surely, if we get the right man in now.
Well, getting the right man in is one thing, but getting the right man in and the players having a bit more these next 2 games, I'll be honest with you now, I wouldn't mind if we don't have a manager in place for Sunday. Doesn't look
Me
like it now.
neither.
It's Friday, you know. Well,
Me
Thursday.
neither. I'd be happy enough to carry on, ride the crest of a wave from last night till Sunday, get that game out of the way, and then we'll move on from there. I'd be all right with that. And I think
that's
that
the thing.
the guys last night earned that chance to oversee us at home.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I think any new manager coming in would kind of look at it and go, well, look, there's not much I can do in the space of 2 days. They've kind of got it boxed off in relation to what they know they can get away with.
There's more potential for someone to come in and confuse them and send them out with a scattergun game plan because they don't know what they're doing.
Absolutely, yeah. And if he gets, like, if we do kind of get a manager in and we announce him at the game on Sunday or whatever the case may be, that gives him a week then with the players to implement as much of his gameplay and his plan as possible within a week's time. And like we were saying earlier, like you know, the players aren't stupid. Like, they're very intelligent. That they understand when tactics aren't working, and when you get a capable coach in who will then implement capable tactics, you know, they do pick up on them very quick. Look what Bielsa did with the squad from the championship to finish 15th. Are you telling me those players aren't intelligent enough to 6 weeks later go from, holy fuck, how are we going to get out of this division, to, Jesus, let's get out of this division, to fuck. You know, that's the kind of way.
They're international players. You know what I mean? Most of them. They're not mugs. It's not like they've not gone through decent levels of coaching through their careers. They're not stupid. They will adapt to tactics. They know how to do what they're instructed to do. But they need somebody capable managing them. And if you don't believe in what the guy's telling you, how are you going to respect him? You know?
Yeah, like, I heard a rumor that basically a couple of players went to Jesse at the end of last season, a couple of senior players, and they basically approached him and said, look, if you play that kind of football next year, you're going to take this club down. And you kind of look at it and go, they're already not buying into what he's trying to do. Obviously it's a rumor, it's something that could be hearsay.
Yeah,
but
of course. If
it is true, it kind of reflects what we've been watching for the last 6 months since the start of the new season. So
absolutely,
you know, if they're not buying into it from the end of last season, they're not going to be buying into it in this season. And it was just a case of how long he got. But look, it was a good result yesterday.
What was it like in the? They will be. They'll have thought they'd made real ground there, and that we'd get nothing out of these 2 games. And do you know whatever happens Sunday? Now the fact we got a point is more than most people thought we'd see out of these 2 fixtures.
Exactly. That's the one thing, and as well, imagine the confidence that'll give them in the dressing room as well.
Exactly.
It'd just be insane, like absolutely insane. So we've a lot to kind of look forward to, I think, at the moment, you know.
Yeah, Luke Thompson just saying correct, Carl. I think that's why some players have left. I wouldn't be surprised. Click were clearly not happy with him.
Yeah, and like, look, we all know that was a volatile relationship between him and Click. But you could see that letting him go was wrong as well, like, because whenever he came on in a game, I don't want to go too far down it, but whenever he came on in a game, you could see how he got on the ball, very calm, slowed it down, brought players in. He nearly did a striker's role from a midfield position because we were that chaotic. We didn't know what the hell was going on.
Jammy's giving you some stick today, Carl.
I know, yeah. How's he smelled me over the internet,
man? I think a lot of what you've said was right, but I mean, we've been on 40 minutes nearly, so we won't go too far digging now. We'll start to wrap this up. But I mean, what was it like in that away end? What was it like when we went 2 up?
Man, like, that was like, I've been to a few away ends this season. That was by far. Well, I didn't get to Liverpool because obviously that was a different kind of kettle of fish, and no one expected to go there and get anything just like last night. But it was a bit different. But that away end last night was rocking.
Yeah,
absolutely rocking. And like, we're good away from home 95, 98% of the time. not so much since last February, but like, it's nice to feel the buzz back around the place. Like, Sunday is going to be absolutely bananas. bananas, and I hope it's so. Like, it better be loud on Sunday, regardless of whether we go goals down or whatever the crack may be. You know, Scooby isn't our manager; he's doing his best.
Scooby. That's what we're getting on Sunday.
Yeah, so I hope everyone's as loud as hell on Sunday, and it's just like, you know, get it done, man. Let's get it done.
I reckon it would have been sort of a great atmosphere anyway. It always is when we play them horrible bastards. I nearly said something else then, and I managed not to.
Yeah. Algorithm.
But the fact that we got that point there and we play like that, we went 2 up against them in their place, you know, it'll be electric now because everybody's going to watch it and believe we can do something.
That's it, yeah. Like, whatever we say about the players getting a bit more confidence, it does it to the fans as well, you know?
Yeah, so, it does. It carries over into the stands.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Just like we get the players G'd up on the pitch, they do it for us in the stands as well. So it's a good thing if we're doing all right, you know?
They'll probably sell a few extra beers as well on Sunday now.
Jeez, I tell you what, right? that lot over the wrong side of the Pennines have it all right for away fans. They do plastic bottles of Carling for £3, and they're nearly a pint.
Really?
They're only like a shy of a pint like that. £3.
I mean, that's decent.
Andrea,
I'm not going to compliment them, so you're alone with that one, Carl.
No. Look, when it comes to alcohol, if it's decent, it's decent. Credit where credit's due. Fuck it. £3 a bottle. Get that sorted. Less of this $5.60 a pint shite.
Yeah, and these opaque cups that you can't see through, so you can't tell how much of it's just froth.
Yeah,
absolute shite. When you lift it up and it's only like the weight of the cup because it's just froth. It's like no. Let's have that topped up, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Couple of comments here that I just want to pull up.
Yeah, go through a few there, yeah.
Just Gilly saying, Rads has gone full Massimo, someone has set the kid's phone off him. Has he said something else while we've been on?
No, it's probably just, didn't he say that, didn't he reply to worst signing in club's history?
I saw that one. You mean JK, JFK's like this bloke that got shot.
He actually said JFK.
Did he actually?
He fucking
I'll take it back
JFK.
then. If you said that, I'll take it back.
Yeah.
I'll take it back. I thought this was just a Carl being Carl moment. But as for taking someone's phone off him, Gilly's next comment, let's be fair, this was still Marsh's win. 95% of it was Marsh ball. I'm sorry, Gilly, it wasn't Jesse's win. It were our win, the fans. And it wasn't a win, it were a draw.
It's a draw. Yeah.
But, you know, I know what he means. I'm just going to pull a few of the comments before we finish up. I'm just going to have a scroll through, see what's going on here.
All right.
Okay. Back to Jammy laying into you, but he does like you. He does like you. It's just fun.
Thanks, man.
Let's have a look. Got Bandy saying the players now have a breath of fresh air now that Marsh has gone. Can't really argue with that one, to be fair.
Not particularly, no.
Jammy on fine form again. Love the bloke, right? Laugh. Jammy saying it's fast become our favourite channel. Cheers, mate. We aim to please.
Hold on. We have to answer this. Carl
looks like a Scottish chuckle, brother. It's a bit harsh, is that?
Well, at least I'm resembling celebrities that are, that's all right, I guess.
I mean, one of them's dead, but okay.
Yeah. Mark, what's the crack with Berardi and Coke bit? It's a post-match podcast, just kind of a funny play on words to separate from the main pod. So nice one for subscribing as well, mate. Good to have you
cheers,
along.
Mate. This is just our regular post-game. We normally do this either after a game or if it's too late, we'll do it the day after generally. But, you know, we're normally about giving our rubbish opinions on what we've seen. Bandy saying everyone loves our Audrey. You're getting some love now. McAllister Bishop. Hi, lads, just tuned in. Any manager news? Also, not sure what the also bit is, but not heard anything.
Can see us play 4-3-3 from now on.
he's followed it up. There we go. We've not seen or heard anything more than anyone else has on Twitter at the moment, so we're all just sort of holding our breath and waiting to see what happens. But I'd like to say it's not being rushed at least, but that's not true. It's just that we've been turned down by people, and Rad's tweets far too early. So, I mean, who knows?
The one thing I would say, if anyone's looking for news, is just wait for Fabrizio Romano to tweet out at this stage. Like, if he says anything, then that's your source. Sorry, Phil, but seems to be beating you to the punch a bit lately. Like,
oh Jesus! Gilly saying Rads has replied to the half and half scarf pic saying, "And you thought my badge was bad." Oh my God! He's not sober. There's no way. Either that or he's about to sell and he's just said, "Fuck it."
I'm not going to lie. That's a funny fucking comment, man. He's taking that one. He's taking that clean on the chin now. To be fair, like, so you know what I mean. Christ.
Oh Jesus! All right. Well, on that note, I think we'll wrap it up, mate, because we've gone on long enough. And I will just say, for anyone watching, we have sort of mentioned Andy's Man Club a few times on the pod recently. If anyone's struggling, probably not as much after a better result because we all feel a little bit better. But if you are, look them up. We've got groups local to most people, various parts of the country. You can find links to stuff like that on our main pods and on our Twitter. And I think we might have a competition coming up soon, but we won't say any more on that. We'll just let people wonder what's going on. But it's been good. Thank you to everyone that's commented and watched as usual. Give us a like and subscribe. Carl, anything final to say?
Hit the bell as well so you get a notification. Apparently that's a thing now as well. So try that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And if any of you ever fancy coming on Berardi and Coke, like the guest earlier, you're more than welcome. Just let us know. Give us a shout and we'll try and sort something out. Get you on. You can air your views and have a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, always happy to have people on to join in.
Yeah.
We're all Leeds fans. We've all got stuff to say. It's always a good laugh. So on that note, I'll say good night, everyone. Cheers for watching.
Take care.